Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us for AEW's final event of 2021 before we head into a new year, and of course we head towards new beginnings with the brand split. How I'll be detailing all that we'll leave to the end of the video because there's quite a lot of stuff I want to cover and explain what I'm going to try and do and hope to do. But for the moment we'll just focus on our event, which is AEW End of the Line. We've set with a minor band and a C-list celebrity and just 250,000 on a special set. I'm putting more emphasis on the opening promo and the main event match rather than having to boost it, so hopefully we save a good bit of money, but through pay-per-view sales and through the gate receipt we should hopefully make some good profit, which is going to help us with regards to, of course, the brand split and the second TV show. Interestingly enough, we had a End of the Line pay-per-view last year, so our second version of this. A very solid 85 and a sold out 40,000 in the tri-state area. Just quite cool looking back at a few of the matches here. We had Cody defeat Kazarian in a Falls Count Anywhere match, because obviously the situation where in game Kaz went with Brandy. Private Party and Matt Hardy took on the Inner Circle. We had Ishii's debut against Peter Avalon. We had Claudio Castagnoli defeat Lance Archer for the TNT Championship. We had Nikki Storm defeat Awesome Kong, so we've had Nikki Storm for over a year, which is quite crazy. We had the Titans win the AEW Tag Titles, defeating the Young Bucks, the Lucha Bros and Proud and Powerful. We had the Dark Order over Best Friends. We had Orange Cassidy defeat Darby Allin. We had the Hangman Rules match, as Hangman defeated Kenny Omega. God, that was a year ago already in game. That's quite frightening. And the main event was, of course, Pac, Wardlow, Jon Moxley for the AEW title, where Moxley retained, of course. MJF was out with an injury. So without blathering on, let's head into today's show. Hope you enjoy it. Hopefully we can end the year with a bang. Here we go. AEW End of the Line 2021. So as always, we'll start with our pre-show. And we sold out 53,000 at the Bill Snyder Family Football Stadium in Kansas, so that's good to see. We start the show with the Acclaimed, and they're cutting a backstage promo getting ready for their matchup, so that wrap was a 35. They were in action against the Motor City Machine Guns, where the Guns win in 9:43. Alex Shelley pinning Max Caster with the Shinarinu, I believe it is. A 45, fairly respectable. As I say, we're still trying to get the Acclaim just giving good matches so they can hopefully gain some skills. Interestingly note, Anthony Bowens, probably because he's the one that doesn't take the pinfall defeat, has the in-ring performance of 33 to Max Caster's 26. We had some 6-person tag action, or 6-man action here. It was a terrible pre-show match. The Uprising, Wardlow, Ricky Starks and Mark Quinn defeated the Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt in 13:50 when Wardlow pinned Marco Stunt with Splash Mountain. So a good victory there for the Uprising over Jurassic Express. Disappointingly though, a 48. They actually had pretty decent performances there apart from Marco Stunt. An unfortunate injury to the Luchasaurus. This is brachial plexipy, so again, medically not savvy, so I'll have to have a wee look and see how bad that injury is. But the main thing is a W for the Uprising. Can MJF make it a clean sweep later on? It'll be intriguing to see what happens there. We had a decent matchup here. Samoa Joe defeated Lance Archer in 11:33 with the Kukuna Clutch. It was a 70, simple matchup, gives Joe some more momentum and a good victory over a very game opponent. And we had a fatal 4-way #1 contenders match for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Of course, Riho is injured, so I had to make it a #1 contenders match rather than any championship match. An abysmal pre-show match saw the team of the Dark Orders, Priscilla Kelly and Abaddon defeated Team Kick, Kari Hojo and Yuka Sakazaki and Audio Tai in 12:20. When Priscilla Kelly pinned Yuka Sakazaki. A 55, pretty respectable there considering only Kairi's performance was higher than that. But yeah, delighted. As I say, Yuka is obviously one that she's incredibly talented, but she's quite good in a enhancement role, so utilising her with that. So we start the main show itself in a very spectacular fashion, with Cody and MJF talk about what they want to do tonight, what it would mean to them to become #1 contender for the World Championship. Talk about their history, their hatred, and how Cody never forgets MJF screwing him many years ago. We also have them Pac saying, he's obviously had a great history with both of the Lucha brothers, and it's good to see Fenix breaking out, but not at his expense. And then Rey Fenix says a few words and subtitles just saying it's time to show more than just a tag wrestler, he generally is one of the best in the world. Solid 100, which is good, considering obviously we had to improvise because Cody and MJF don't like to be scripted, but that puts less pressure on the main event with our top promo 100. Opening contest of the night saw Chris Jericho defeat Ace Austin in 14:22 by submission with the Walls of Jericho. In 82, probably even could have been higher if we obviously went higher than 15 minutes, because that's the cap and sticks in an 82. Chris Jericho wasn't too insistent in putting Ace Austin over, and I feel like that's cool. We can work on stuff with Ace Austin and go from there, so pretty happy with that. And yeah, that feud will probably continue into the new year. After the matchup, we see Ace Austin just walking backstage, kind of an ice pack on his neck. He bumps into Cody, and Cody just says, "Don't let this match just define you. You put up a good show in there. You forget the years and years of experience Jericho's got. You'll get there, kid." Ace looks a wee bit disgusted, but at the same time kind of goes, "You know what? He's kind of right." So he just kind of nods and carries on to the back. A 69 there for that little segment. Next up, we had some 6-woman action. Abysmal matchups. The team of Mercedes Varnado, Chelsea Green, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, defeat Chris Statlander, Toni Storm, and Deonna Purrazzo in 12:08 when Mercedes pinned Chris Statlander. During the matchup, we had Deonna Purrazzo actually turn on Toni Storm. So a 53 here. Unfortunately, both Britt and Deonna were off their game. Mercedes turning in her best performance, as did Toni, both with 60s. And yeah, it's not going to go down well. She still said it was too early for her, but a quick heel turn, and it triggers the gimmick change as well. So, spoiled brat gimmick, initial rating of poor, and this is likely to raise over time once fans get used to the new gimmick. And too many of your recent turns have been shocks, that's fine. Didn't go down particularly well. Now, I don't mind too much regarding this, because Deonna has next to no overness, and she will be effectively one of the lower wheels in this faction. So it's going to take a long time to build her up, which is why I didn't mind that. And it just means for the future, we can't do any sharp turns, they've got to be long, drawn out, built turns, so that's fine. And after the matchup, we then have Chris and Toni in the ring, and they are getting beaten down by Mercedes, Chelsea, Britt, and Deonna. So just to confirm, we now have a 4-woman faction that is Mercedes Varnado, Chelsea Green, Britt Baker, and Deonna Purrazzo. So basically, as soon as Chelsea was signed, Deonna was turning heel, she was joining Chelsea, and I feel like that 4-way it's a good way of getting all 4 of them to a good position on the card. So a 45 there, and I'm delighted with that. Moving on, we had the 6-man action in the men's division. It was a good matchup, which saw AEW's Bullet Club, Devitt and the Young Bucks defeat the Dark Order, Darby Allin and Evil Uno and Stu Grayson in 17:56 when Prince Devitt pinned the Evil Uno with a brainbuster. 82. Both Nick Jackson and Stu Grayson are getting stale, but again, really good performances across the board, and you feel like if Uno and Grayson had a bit more overness, this matchup could have probably carried into the 84s, 85s, but delighted, and it makes Devitt look $1,000,000 again with another victory over the Dark Order. We then had the Open Challenge was accepted from AJ Styles with the massive entrance and welcome, obviously. You know he'd signed and it was Shinsuke Nakamura. He makes an elaborate entrance, the crowd go wild, and his unique charismatic gimmick, which is an initial rating of very good, discovered a 56 rating. So the plan was to put AJ continually over, but when I was looking to push AJ and there was an opening for a Nakamura match here, I felt like AJ was the best bet. Hangman wouldn't have put him over because of the overness differences, so it made perfect sense to go Nakamura versus AJ Styles. Match itself had a 68. It was a decent matchup, and Nakamura defeated Styles in 22-20 with a Kinshasa. So 68, 62 for Nakamura, 69 for AJ, and that's them having great chemistry. So you can see here that Nakamura has had a rough time in WWE. They've really demolished his overness, and it's up to us to try and build him back up. We also made this match a spectacle, so I was kind of hoping we could pop into the 70s, but it just shows the lack of overness in both guys after their WWE runs with the AI. We then had a backstage promo, Sir Brodie Lee trying to motivate Anna Jay before their matchup, but Anna says she's focused and ready to become the AEW Mixed Tag Team Champions. A 65 here, Brodie Lee was fantastic, Anna Jay performed poorly in this segment. The match itself was actually pretty good, decent. Kenny Omega and Hikaru Shida defeat Sir Brodie Lee and Anna Jay in 1801 when Kenny Omega pinned Sir Brodie Lee with a one-winged angel. The fifth title defence for Omega and Shida. Anna Jay was a weak link, but you hope performances and matches like this really help her in terms of her development. Brodie Lee and Kenny Omega shone in the match, and it was a 72 overall. So I think this mixed tag division so far is certainly helping the women's wrestlers in terms of matches that are good. So hopefully if they get the skill benefit, we can really reap the rewards in the future. And after the matchup, we have a 4-person brawl. Kenny and Brodie Lee continue to brawl, Shida and Anna Jay, and that is a 67 with, of course, Shida and Anna Jay not coming out as well because obviously they're not as over, and Kenny and Sir Brodie Lee excellent and fantastic. Moving along, promo from the EU as Miro and Claudio Castagnoli talk about their chances against Proud and Powerful. They talk about how they've known each other a long time and they feel they're really starting to hit a groove here in AEW. So that's a 68. The match itself had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, and Proud and Powerful defeated the EU in 15-17 when Santana pinned Claudio Castagnoli following a distraction from Jake Hager. This was the 4th defence of the AEW World Tag Titles for Proud and Powerful. I don't want to take it off them just yet, and despite Ortiz being off his game, the fact they can come in and produce a 79, a 78 is fantastic from our tag champs. But segment rating was a 76, and overall just shows how good our tag division is starting to get. Then had MJF and Cody cutting a promo, putting themselves over. 78. Segment was not very good from the announce team or the colour commentary, so I don't know why Morrow and CM Punk faltered here. That's definitely them one. Yep. Don Callis busy. So in this one, it's 2 separate promos. MJF cutting his chances of tonight's matchup. Cody mentioning his. Just says what it would mean to them to become world champion, give them an opportunity to really be the face of AEW. I'm intrigued to see how this match goes down because this is a lot of over-the-top booking. So let's see how you guys feel with the decision I've made here. So it was an exceptional matchup, and obviously the winner, number 1 contender, the loser, doesn't challenge for the title again. And in an exceptional matchup, of course, Cody drew with MJF when the 30-minute time limit expired. 84, 91 for Cody, and a 95 for MJF. And obviously the psychology of the matchup let it down, so this would have been even better if they had someone that could carry the match in that regard, so this would have been in the 90s. So yeah, where does this leave us? Well, we actually answer it on tonight's show. First up, we have MJF trying to plead with Bryce Remsburg to say, come on, give me the victory, let me become #1 contender, which is at 72, before Mick Foley comes out and he confirms that we will see at the January event, which I might be changing the name of, a triple threat match for the AEW World Championship. Both men will get in it. That's why I've only put the two of them there, because I don't know who the champion's going to be. But it is going to be the AEW World Champion versus MJF versus Cody. So looking forward to that one, a triple threat match for the title. I said I wanted more multi-man matches, and that one at the next event could be spectacular. And our main event matchup, again the psychology hampered it. It's weird because some matches on Dynamite have really thrived without the psychology aspect of the stuff with like Will Ospreay, who didn't have a massive stat for that. But in 81, and you can tell there, if they've got the psychology nailed down, then this matchup probably hits high 90s. But it was about the sensational wrestling and fantastic heat. Pac defeats Rey Fenix in 24-25 with a 6:30 senton. During the matchup, we had Pentagon run out and attack Pac, and I don't know why I had Abaddon distract Pac. I think I must have accidentally added that in, but yeah, just ignore that. And Pac makes the 5th defence of the world title. I think what I meant to add in, oh, there it is. John Moxley should be at ringside. So the idea was Pentagon, because it doesn't show you in the text, Pentagon attacks Pac to give Phoenix a chance, but John Moxley kind of like comes out at ringside, evens up the odds, and he starts fighting with Pentagon Jr. So Pac retains, Abaddon's randomly there, but she shouldn't be. Ignore that. And if we move on, is it going to let me go to the next one? Is it? There we go. So basically we then have Moxley and Pentagon just continue to brawl, and Moxley puts Pentagon through a table, which gives us an 85. So, you know, actually building feuds straight off the bat for the next month. And we finish the episode. Pac's in the ring as champion. He's attacked by MJF, but Cody makes the save. So we end up with Cody in the ring, Pac a bit injured but holding the belt, and MJF on the rampway signalling, you know, don't make it a 2-on-1, but I'm going to win the belt from you guys. So a lot of forward planning for once. So we finish the show overall with an 89. That increases their popularity in 56 regions, the whole course of the UK, the US and Canada, and everywhere else around the world, which is good to see. I'm just intrigued to know how it helps us financially, but I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, we really, for once, put a lot of faith into forward booking, so we already know quite a few of the matches before we even do what's going to be happening ahead. So just to clarify, I am going to process on to the 1st of Jan. We'll have one episode just dedicated to the Power 500 and stuff like that in the company, all the awards, etc. We'll then basically look to, I'll need to muck about with the broadcasting deals. I'll have to basically cancel AEW Live, and that'll move to basically mean that Dynamite will just be in the US and Canada, and then AEW Live will get money invested into the US and Canada, so then it can become the sole place to see Lightning, the Lightning brand, until we can finally get that TV deal in about 11 months time. So hopefully we reap the benefit of that. I just think the extra gate receipts should hopefully help us, and if you're getting more people on television as well, then hopefully their overness means it benefits us long term. So I'm hoping it's a massive gamble. It's going to be a big investment, probably going to lose most of the money we have. So to give you an idea, we have 26 million just now. We are going to lose a lot of that through tax and miscellaneous worker costs and show costs. Well, to be fair, we did save probably about 2 million on show costs because we didn't go with a lot of boosts, but we will spend a good portion of that money, so we'll probably sit at maybe 2-3 million and really risking it going forward. So it's a gamble, and we'll see if it pays off. We won't be going for Tanahashi because he's loyal to New Japan, so he won't sign in for that overness at 45. No point. how times have changed for me. End of the Line was fantastic reviews. GSO, well, unless Jimmy became available, no thanks, and he's going to be out of contract, so we'll see there. And Luchasaurus, just a few weeks, that's not too bad. CM Punk, I like what I'm hearing from Ace Austin. There's Money in the Kids promos, good stuff. Drug testing, we get a 0.14 on television, but we get a buy rate of a 4.99. So I think it's a wee bit down on the last one, but it's in a position where it's maybe not as prestigious as Full Gear. I think Full Gear has a little bit more prestige. So I can get rid of them actually, let's delete. So we'll finish it up. Size, 83-82, we're a good bit more comfortable. And that's the thing we need to look at as well. If we can get the exposure through a second show, we can try and boost this to 83-84. And it means all the eyes are going to be on, you know, there's going to be more people watching, more money coming in. And hopefully we can look at developmental. We're starting to improve in a few other places. So US, that's fine, you know what I mean? That's big gains for a year ago. We're 73, we've been pretty steady since June. Canada, great gains. Mexico, well, incredible gains in Mexico, it must be said. UK, I think that's still not too bad, all things considering. A 71 up to a 78, you know, considering when it is. Japan, not so much so good, but as I say, compared to where we were, we can't really be fussy. And it's Europe, Oceania, and India, where gains have been made. We can't argue, it's still 10 pop gained, but it has to be more. And we'll certainly look to do that, because I want to run shows all over the world. I want to have a AEW Japan show, you know, where we have matches down there, but we'll see what happens. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a very good year in game, and as I say, truthfully, when this goes live, when this is recorded, because this won't go live probably till April. Yeah, this is recorded before the Royal Rumble, so like I've had a lot of fun playing this save. So much I've been booking maybe 4 or 5 episodes a day, because I've been really into it, and it's been absolutely rejuvenated my passion of TW for sure. I hope you guys have enjoyed the journey with us. So if you ever wonder why I'm in 1.28 or why it was 1.27 for a while, I was booking the life out of this, having an absolute blast. And I think that's one thing. If people are enjoying the content, it's brilliant, and it's great as well when the actual person that's as I said, playing the game is having a blast. And I hope it's kind of that mutual thing where you're getting as much enjoyment as I'm playing it, because it's been great. But there's a long way to go, and honestly, if it keeps being as enjoyable as it's been, then this will last right through until whatever the next incarnation of TW is. So, cheers for watching, good day and good night, and I'll see you for that award show in a few days' time. Bye bye.